Hello and welcome.
All right, we're back on the Church of Mark podcast. I just want to make sure we're recording. Everything looks great. And we have the fantastic Nadya Kwandibens with us today. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Good to see you again after,
It's been forever, it seems.
I actually can't remember the last time I saw you.
It's been years, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because the pandemic started, like 18 months ago?
Yeah.
Or something like that, right? And then before that... Yeah, I don't know.
It must have been like some show or something.
Some sort of event or something. That's right.
Yeah, I feel like that's where a lot of people see.
That's where a lot of people meet up again, especially at these different conferences or sometimes even on the powwow circuit. Sometimes you don't see people until literally a year later at whatever sort of event or function.
Yeah,
and that's where you catch up. And a lot of times you kind of, I find you pick up where you kind of left off, like nothing had happened.
Yeah, like what is time?
Still.
Time is yeah.
That's right. Time is a construct made by the government in order to sell us more watches. No, I'm just kidding. Or maybe it is. So speaking of time, you've been spending a lot of time traveling. Even the last decade, you've been kind of all over Canada and the United States.
Oh, it's been nuts, just nuts. Really snowballed after I started doing portrait work. Right. It just really grew from there. I've covered, you name it. I've probably photographed it. Right.
That's right.
Portrait sessions, concerts, events like conferences, gatherings, powwows, family portraits. I've done location photography, product photography. It's just really the full scope.
Thing, right?
Yeah.
And this whole journey for you kind of started back, I want to say, like 21 years ago when you attended Confederation College. I believe you were attending a photography course. I think we have researchers. We find out all kinds of information. So was that kind of where this sort of started for you? Your interest in photography, or did you always have an interest since? You were a little one.
Not so much photography. That really, did pick up after I was enrolled in the film program at.
That's right, film production. Right, Confederation College. Right.
Yeah, I never ended up finishing it. I actually should have waited a little while after graduating high school to just what am I? What is my purpose? Kind of thing. So I never ended up completing that, but photography, of course, is a program there and a course you have to take, and it really just grew from there. I held on to the camera, and it was a hobby for a number of years. Then it wasn't until I moved to Arizona that it really, really picked up, and my partner at the time encouraged me to start doing portraits, and that's really where it all started.
Great. So you were taking portraits of people that you knew, or these were kind of people that reached out to you because they knew you were doing photography, or?
My partner at the time was also a photographer, so I guess people in our circle were aware of what we were doing, and I started off doing free photo shoots, to build my portfolio and get some experience. Yeah.
I think all artists kind of start off doing free sort of work, right?
Yeah.
At the
for
start.
Exposure.
For exposure. That's right. I mean, musicians know about this all the time.
Yeah. So, and then it really just built from there. I had my first group exhibition in 2006. Soon after I started portrait work, and it's just been really growing since then. I think now Redworks and Nadya, my name, the two are synonymous. Like, I get people coming up to me at different events and that, knowing, hearing Redworks and seeing the work out there. It's just been a real it's been a real ride.
And Redworks, you started, I guess, officially in 2008. Is that correct?
Yeah, in the fall of 2008, officially gave it a name.
Great.
Yeah, and just went from there.
Right. You did a number, I think we just talked about this before we started taping. They're not called collections, but you do like series of different sort of photos. Like the Red Chair, right, series, is that correct? And,
I have the Red Chair sessions. Right. That series is really picked up. Everyone wants to be a part of that. Like, it's just a fun series, really. Just imagine lugging this, chair out in the middle of a bush or in the middle of an intersection somewhere, or it could be anywhere.
And
really.
Is it the same chair?
No.
It's,
I've been leaving red chairs across
like, how do you travel
country.
with that? Like, you got to book like a flight for it on the plane beside you? Yeah,
put it down in cargo. It's
right.
fragile.
So it's a different chair.
Yeah, it's we source different. That just sounds like such a weird thing to say about a chair, but I get a lot of people messaging just randomly. Oh, I saw this red chair and I thought of your series.
Oh, great.
If you're ever in town, right? Yeah, I have the perfect chair for you. But so I've been leaving all these red chairs.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so that series has really resonated, I think, with a lot of people. Just it's about, really what it's about is recognizing that we're all guests on Indigenous land. This is all Indigenous land, right?
That's right.
So there's power in that. And even me, like, say if I was to do a session for myself here, I myself am a guest here. This is not, my traditional territory, right? I'm an Anishinaabe from Northwestern Ontario, Treaty 3 area. Yeah. So I think it's really important that people, that non-Indigenous people recognize that,
right,
and acknowledge that,
right. Because sometimes they don't. Sometimes they think there's this sort of pan-Indigenous sort of identity, and they think we're all kind of the same sort of group or tribe of people, when really that's far from. That's right. That's far from the case. Yeah.
So that's what that series is really about. And one important thing too, actually, is in the image captions, like that accompany each photo, it's written, I try and write it in the person's actual language.
Okay.
So it becomes almost this refusal of the colonizer's language, right? We have so many languages that are, in jeopardy. You know what I mean? Like, we need more speakers. We need more, like, it needs to be revitalized and nurtured and spoken and, all of that. So,
and do you see that?
written, right?
Right. So, and do you see that, like, from your travels, from your journeys? Do you see the younger generations kind of picking up, learning the language and trying to revitalize it? Sort of a renaissance of that again? Yeah, like language camps. One of my dear friends, Christy Belcourt, has her camp out in, like, I think it's near Sudbury. Okay, right. Yeah, so she, there's it's really nice to see, like, camps like that, and I still have yet to go. Her and Isaac have been inviting me for a while to come. So, but I just things get moving throughout the year and things really pick up. It's hard to. It's difficult, especially when you're traveling and your schedule's full with different bookings. It's tough to really find the time. Yeah. But I sometimes I think and I've been learning this recently because I always take on too many projects, and then I'm just crazy, right? Yeah. So I'm learning how to find time for myself and learning how to say no to certain things. That is a huge one. Learning how to say no. Yeah, and to really just value your own energy and your own own space. To clear the space and so that you're able to put out what you're meant to, right? That's like right. To not be so stressed about it, because that's an energy too, right? Right. Yeah. So I've been learning how to say no too. Good. Yeah. So I pick certain projects. Right. Yeah. So how do you find time to relax? Or do you have time to relax? What are some of your things? You know what happened? What happened?
didn't. I got back from Ottawa last night on the train. And I'm like, oh, it was so good to be back in my space. Well, as much as I love being out there, right? It was a nice trip. But I really love my space and my little bear cave that I built. And it's beautiful. And I have art everywhere. And I was just really relishing just being back, right? So I ended up staying up so late. I fired up my PS4 and I was playing golf. Until I think, the PGA golf.
Okay, right. There you go.
And I had my headphones on, I was listening to gangster rap and playing golf until I think about 3. So that's one of the ways that I kind of unwind and
There you go. Out. So that's your go-to game for the PS4, or do you have other? Or do you have other games?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an online league?
No. There's okay. I'm not a part of a league or anything, but. Yeah, gangster rap and golf. Yeah, that's.
Oh, there you go, gangster rap and golf. That sounds like an album name.
Yeah.
Let's copyright that. We're going to trademark that. So, get any ideas out there? We're going to get on it right away.
And every once in a while, too, like I'll pick up a guitar. My guitar. I recently bought a guitar off my buddy Jason.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
An acoustic or electric guitar?
It's acoustic. It's a Gibson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah. So I've been dabbling a bit here and there. I'm in no way I just kind of pick it up for myself as a bit of a release.
Right.
Yeah. Just to kind of just to be and focus on one thing, kind of. Right. You know what I mean? Exactly. Just to decompress, sort of thing.
And music always helps with decompressing. Whether you're playing it or listening to music, right? It's a good sort of therapy, I find.
In my place, there's music playing all the time. It's the first thing I do in the morning, right? After my books. Oh, that's another thing, too. I think I'm a real nerd because I spend about 3 hours every morning just reading and sipping coffee and just kind of easing into the day kind of thing. Yeah,
I think we all do that. I'll lie in our bed reading articles on the laptop.
Yeah, so just a way to not go directly to the social media or your inbox kind of thing.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's another way. That's something else I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Reading is good. So what are you reading now? What's on your shelf or on your nightstand?
I'm reading this, what's it called? We Had a Real Estate Problem.
Okay.
It's a book about Indigenous comedians.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a really good one. Basil Johnston.
Oh, yes, right.
Moose Meat and Wild Rice.
Great.
Yeah, it's a bunch of just, Basil Johnston.
Yeah, I think we actually have that book somewhere. I don't know where it is. We moved the bookshelf. It's somewhere here in the house.
He's from our area, right?
That's right. Yeah, he is actually...
or stateside?
I want to say it's Cape Croker, actually, from where my family's from. Chippewas-Anawish, I believe. I'll have to fact check that. I believe he's from there. I'll double check that now. That's why we have the computer. We had to fact check Josh yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't. Okay, where is he?
Basil, yeah.
Yeah, Basil. I have the wrong glasses. Wasauskeen First Nation. That's where it is. So yeah, Wyerton area. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
isn't that Perry Sound?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's in that that neck of the woods, right?
Why did I think he was from our area?
A lot of people are from Northwestern Ontario. I mean, we lived up there for many years. Josh was on the show yesterday. Is from there, and there's quite a few other people that have migrated from Northwestern Ontario, whether it be Thunder Bay or other areas, down to Toronto. They come to the big city to follow their dreams.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you ended up in Toronto, but you've been kind of living everywhere.
How did I move here? I mean, or not how, but when? I think it was oh, that's right. I'm a bit of a drifter.
Right.
And up until that point, Redworks was already sort of, gaining momentum, and I was always on the road kind of thing. I ended up in Brantford with one of my buddies, Joel, my dear friend Joel. And I stayed with him for a while, and I was like, I want to move to Toronto. I have to keep going back and forth anyway. Why not just, get my own place?
Right.
So I ended up reaching out to my friend Wawate, who's actually from the same area. Yeah.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, Wawate. And we ended up getting a place together. And we lived together for quite a while at Yonge and St. Clair area.
Right.
Yeah, we had a real nice pad there.
Right, I seem to recall that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right, because I had worked with Wawateo on a couple different productions over the years. That's right, and I remember. That's right. You guys had moved in together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're still you're in a different part of Toronto now. You're.
Yeah, and then I moved out and I kind of drifted again. I went back home and stayed with my dad for a bit.
Right.
I was in Kelowna with my sister for a bit. She's since moved back home.
Okay.
Everyone's back home now. And then the opportunity came. Oh, no, it actually wasn't that. I was visiting here like a couple summers ago. And out on the patio with a few friends, and they're like, Nadya, we miss you. Just come back. And then that was it.
Right,
so I was like, okay,
there you go. That did
why
it.
not? Yeah. So everything just kind of aligned and worked out perfectly. So
Right. So what's one city you would never move back to again?
one city I would never move back to?
Yeah. Like, what's one city that you didn't enjoy living in? And
you know what? I'm actually going to say this because I've had some pretty traumatic experiences there, is actually Thunder Bay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've had some experiences with just overt racism there. And it was during my time there, it was actually it was really creative for me, a creative time. I was just starting. This was before photography, right? I started Redworks and all that. I was working at CBC radio. I was also going to university, Lakehead at the time. But, just sort of like mixed into all of, these great opportunities. And, my circle of friends there were great. Like, it was a really good time, but at this, my time there was good, but at the same time, like, you have these moments where you just experience like some of these really racist
right.
Yeah, I remember one time I got followed by this car.
Oh.
And yeah, just most things like that. It really prompted me to just kind of switch things up. I need to get out, and that's when I moved to Arizona. So,
to Arizona, okay,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, I've always been the type to just like kind of just. Once I decide something, I just go out and do it. And I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, but yeah.
And the weather is much better in Arizona than Thunder Bay during the winter, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you plop an Anishinaabe in the middle of the desert with the, yeah.
Although I like the that sort of dry heat. I've got bad arthritis, so for me it's just fine.
Yeah, it was, I spent about a year and a half there, and then I ended up moving back home, so...
Right.
Yeah.
So do you ever see yourself returning back to Northwestern Ontario, into your community at some point? Or are you going to continue, I guess, going from place to place? Or
I think I'll stay here for a bit. Right. Like, I really love my place. And it's mine, right? Like, it's, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I'm renting, but
sure.
Like, it's, I've built such a beautiful, cozy, like, space for
your
myself.
Own space.
Right? And I have what I need. I don't have anything more. I like to call myself like a bit of a minimalist. Like everything that I have like serves a purpose.
Right.
And I don't need anything more than what I have.
As long as you have your PS4 and your golf game.
My golf
and your hip hop music.
And my books.
And your books. That's right.
Books,
there you go. So as long as you have those items, you're all set.
So I might stay. I actually, I want to stay for a bit longer.
Right.
But the plan was always to save up and get a tiny house.
Okay.
And build a tiny house back home.
Okay, a tiny house. All right.
Yeah.
Like out on the land somewhere.
Yeah, just
away
plop
from,
it on the beach somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Back home. Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
How tiny is the house?
Like, would I be able to fit?
That's
like,
right.
My,
like
my stuff I have in there.
Is it like that scene
know.
from the Zoolander movie where they build the?
I haven't seen that.
Okay, the Institute for Kids Who Can't Talk Right, or I forget the story. Someone will check me later on the internet, I'm sure. But they built a model, and they were saying you can't put kids in there. Anyways, that's Zoolander. I digress now.
Bit of a tangent there.
Yeah. So, but you're heading back, I guess, to the area in the next day or two, right? You have an exhibition coming up.
Yeah, I leave next week for Kenora, which is an hour north of where my community is. I'm opening up it's a solo show of the Red Chair Sessions. Yeah, they're just 30 altogether. Yeah.
Excellent. Great.
And I got some family members I photographed in there too. So they're in the series.
Great.
I'm like, you got to see the show.
Great.
Bring all the cousins and aunties.
And where's the show at?
Bring your kokom. It's opening up at the Muse. Douglas. What is it? Douglas. Everyone knows it. It's the Muse. Lake of the Woods Museum.
Okay.
Douglas Family Art Center.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
And that'll run for how long?
I believe the end of September.
Yeah, wow, that's a long show.
Yeah,
okay,
so good
great.
two and a half months.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Well, I encourage everyone to go check it out. I'd go check it out, but I won't be in Kenora.
Yeah, and here's the catalog.
Oh, great. That's right, the catalog. And this was just made for the show, or this is something... it is. The Muse on the back. I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
So I wanted to gift that to you, and then there's all of the portraits.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So far.
Those look beautiful.
There.
Thank you. And you're going to sign this as well.
I'll sign that for you.
Okay,
as well.
great. Okay, we'll get that. And when we have a gift for you, we'll give it to you off camera as well. That we'll sign if you want me to sign it.
Well, I don't know what it is, so I don't know.
Well, you can't take it back. It's great. So after this exhibition is done, are you taking a break, or do you have another project that you're working on, or what's I guess on the future horizon?
I have oh my goodness, I have a major contract with the CMHC. So they're sending me to all these different reserves across Canada, First Nations across Canada, to photograph housing, community lifestyle photos, just to to populate their image banks, because there's no Indigenous people in their photo banks. So I'll be traveling, I think until mid-August for them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I come back, possibly back to Thunder Bay, and I might have something going on with Jeremy Dutcher.
Oh, wow.
From there,
great.
and then back to Toronto from there. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're very busy. Always keeping busy.
Yeah, it's there was pretty much most of the spring where it was like it was pretty slow.
Was that because the pandemic, people just weren't doing bookings, or?
No, yeah, with the restrictions and everything.
Right.
But the inbox is always busy. I get lots of requests for like image licensing, for textbooks, school textbooks. It just comes from everywhere, really.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever approached you for like a custom project they wanted you to do, whatever that may be?
No, not.
Like, say, Elon Musk said, I want to hire you to take pictures of rockets. Like, you know what I mean? Like no requests like that, or.
You know what? I'm sort of delving into a bit of video.
Oh, okay.
And editing.
Okay.
So I'm getting a few requests like that, which is really it's really fun for me, because I like I said before, I just kind of go in and I don't know what I'm doing and just kind of figure it out.
We don't know what we're doing either, so.
Yeah. So teaching myself editing has been really it's been really fun.
Great. And what are you using to edit with software?
I'm using Adobe Premiere.
Okay, Adobe. Great.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's I actually used it when I was in college, right?
Okay, right.
We used obviously an older version of it.
Right.
I was already familiar somewhat with it.
Okay.
So yeah, just kind of teaching myself new tricks, and a lot of what I shoot and what I put together is very experimental, like montage type projects. So.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
So you're going to have some sort of, I guess, video project by the end of it, or some sort of, what's, I guess, the kind of the film. It's not a film. It's just more of a a visual presentation of photos going together? Or,
this next project is for another dear friend. Her name's Zoe Price-Roy.
Okay.
And she's a spoken word artist, and she actually recently launched her new album. And she has another one coming out, and she wants me to put together like the visuals for like the show.
Oh, so right, okay, for the live show. So like behind them or whatever the visuals are going to be.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Like projections or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And the narrative she's got for it is really interesting.
Okay.
And, I can almost see some of the visuals already for it, so it's just a matter of shooting
right.
it.
And what are some of the visual ideas for that project?
She wants what was she saying? It's like a story of a young girl who sort of explores different, I guess, sort of facets of her, coming to realize her. Like her identity, who she is, like all of this. Right. It feels really like free flow for me. So I want to just kind of, I actually just got that email yesterday, so I have to really sit with it and figure out, kind of get into this state with it and,
right.
Get the energy of it, how she feels, So,
right.
Yeah.
Great. So do you think
it'll
you might
come together?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds cool. We like to see it when it's finished, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think you might get into like directing in the future, whether it be documentaries or features or?
You know what? I've been thinking about that. I want to do like this project called the Kitchen Table Talks.
Right.
And
I saw that written here.
Yeah,
right.
And it'll bring together like all of these matriarchs, like our aunties and kokums across the country, and even non-Indigenous allies to sort of round table. What's going on? How can we, as matriarchs and women in our communities, what can we do and what can we say? What needs to happen so that our children in our communities are more healthy.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
The answers are always with us, right? So just to bring out, dialogue around all of that and, just seeing aunties all together, I think is really, it would be fun.
No, that'd be great.
Just visit in someone's kitchen. One auntie's cooking fry bread or something, you know what I mean?
That's right.
The other's making tea, or you know what I mean?
Because that's kind of where the life of the family happens, is in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
You have the cooking, you have discussions, you have family talks in the kitchen, a lot of kitchen parties, right?
Yeah.
So everything happens in the kitchen.
Yeah, and the idea for that came because I was in foster care, and I used to live with my grandma for a while, and she would always be cooking in the kitchen. She'd have her brother come over, and they'd talk politics about what's going on in the community, all of that. I heard all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'd be helping my grandma in the kitchen, and she was really stern, right? But in grandmas are, right?
Sure.
Kokums are. She just showed me around the kitchen. I learned what a colander was, or all this stuff. I'd watch her make like molasses fry or bannock, right? All these dishes that she made. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
you must have some recipes then.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring that sort of concept back.
Right.
Yeah. Or it's not necessarily that it disappeared, like this, everyone's, but it's just to show others that, we're all sort of tied together, like in this way. And just being able to amplify, our women and their voices and what they have to say I think is really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, in the last couple of years, you've been very busy also with different accolades and accomplishments and awards. 2018, you received a Ontario Arts Council Award.
Oh, right, yeah.
For excellence. The name of the award, I can't find it at the moment. But do you want to tell us how that came to be? Because it's something you didn't have to apply for. You were just sort of nominated, correct?
Yeah, I remember that phone call. And I was like, who is this calling me? I normally don't answer numbers I don't know.
Right.
But I picked it up and they're like, congratulations, you've been nominated. And I'm like, what? I was driving. I was actually on my way to a gig. Right?
Oh, right.
I was like, yeah. So that came as actually a real surprise. I didn't know. And then they put together this event to receive the award, and that before the Digging Roots concert.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a real honor to receive that, because when you look at past what's the word, laureates?
Yes, that's correct.
Laureates, yeah. Right. Like Shelley Nero received.
Yes, that's right.
And she is, oh my God, like honestly, I just love her. She is like a mentor to me, and we have so much in common. And I actually photographed her for her red chair too.
Oh,
so
okay.
She's in the series.
Okay, great.
As well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So, and she's always saying, Nods, come down. You gotta, come spend some time with me, and stay a few days, stay the weekend, stay however long you want. Right. Yeah. So I do at some point want to go see her. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So Shelley's in there.
Great.
There's a bunch.
And then, as of recently, you're now a spokesperson for Canon.
Yeah, the Canon Canada Ambassador.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that come to be? They found you, or you contacted them, or?
I think I was like already kind of like on their radar. I think because one of like a team or branch of their video production or series or something.
Okay.
I had been contacted by them, and they did a whole behind the scenes sort of feature and interview on actually the red chair sessions. This is what I mean. Like everyone loves the red chair sessions.
Right.
So they filmed a behind the scenes shoot with Derek Miller's red chair session. Okay. So yeah, we drove down to Six Nations. Yeah.
So that means you must get some sort of there's special perks with being ambassador for Canon.
Yeah. So it's a paid 2-year agreement contract, and basically I help promote the brand. Mm-hmm. And I have an upcoming artist talk. I don't want to call it an artist talk. It seems like it's going to be really chill. Okay. With Canon and Henry's coming up. I think that's going to be about mid-August.
Okay. Henry's being the store that sells professional camera equiment. And,
Henry's
such,
Photo. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then I also get product credit. I'm using that towards a new lens. I really wanted the 85mm for so long. Okay. It's like the portrait lens.
I hear it's all about the lenses with photography.
Oh, it's the portrait lens to have. Okay. And it's of course, how much does it? L series.
How much does it cost? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I didn't even look it up, but I think it's got to be over 2,000.
Oh my! Just for a lens.
Just for the lens.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what's so special about the lens? I guess it's the
glass.
The glass.
The glass,
and the precision that went into crafting
all the
that.
Optics inside there.
Right,
okay, right. I really love it. I have several lenses, and I've used a 50mm for so long because it's fast, right? And the aperture opens up so much that it allows me to shoot in really low light situations, right? So this one, I'm not sure what the f-stop is, but it does open up quite large,
and that's
as well.
The key.
So,
you want a larger sort of diameter to capture more light, as you said, right?
And not just that, but it also yields, in photos when the background is like crazy blurry,
Okay, yeah. I take those photos all the time.
Yeah. No, like you're like say you're one thing is in sharp focus, right?
Sure.
But the foreground and background are like crazy blurry.
Right.
Yeah. So that's called depth of field.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shallow or narrow depth of field, right?
Okay, right.
So these lenses that I have really get that blur factor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, and I photograph most of my portrait sessions with a very, that blur factor.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's really smooth. It's just, yeah.
And what's the f-stop do? What does that even stand for?
The f-stop closes down the aperture.
Okay. It's
like the iris of a lens, right?
Okay.
Like if you imagine it as your actual eyes,
right?
Like the iris that's what the f-stop is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it opens and closes the aperture.
Controlling how fast it does that.
No, it's just controlling how wide or small.
I see. Okay.
Small it is, yeah.
So the longer you keep something open, the aperture open, then it allows more light in. Is that correct? Okay. So, and that's how you would do sort of photography where you see like, the lights where it's kind of streaky. Is that how you would do that effect too? Like, if you're like just set it up on the street and a bus went by and.
Oh, that's a combination of shutter.
Okay, shutter. Oh, I see. Okay.
And f-stop.
Yeah. F-stop. Okay.
Yeah. I've done some stuff like that before, in combination with the external flash as well.
Right.
Those are really fun. Really, all you're doing is leaving the shutter open.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And the flash is timed so it goes off and it lights the scene, but your shutter is still open, gathering that light.
Gathering light. Okay.
Yeah. And you can move your camera. I love doing this effect at concerts and that, because you can really just like
it's very animated.
Make the crowd look
it almost captures the spirit of what happened at the night of the concert that happened. Right.
Yeah, all the lights and colors and
and it's just crazy, like a concert would be. Everything's motion, it's flow, right?
Yeah, everyone's feeling good. Everyone's
Great. Yeah. So if you had an unlimited budget, pretend you won the Lotto Max, you got $50 million. What's your dream camera lens setup? Or do you already have it?
I'm, like I mentioned before, like I'm like I don't really research too much beyond what I need.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I have.
You're minimalist, right?
I have what I need.
Right.
Yeah. The lenses I have cover quite a range of different situations. Yeah. But my next one actually is only that 85 mil.
Okay.
Yeah. And I might switch camera bodies. There's a new model that's out now. I think the R. Oh, I forget what it's called. I should know this. I'm sorry, Canon. But
it's okay. We'll overdub that in later.
But like
in editing.
Subtitles or something.
We can look it up. Actually, if you let us know, we can maybe get it in the edit. So don't worry. Or we can even go to a commercial. And now here's a word from Canon.
Graphics, Canon graphics. But I want to definitely upgrade my the camera body itself.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can still use the lenses that I have on it.
Interchangeable.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a specific mount you can.
I see.
Can get for it.
Great.
So. Yeah.
So what's a good camera to buy? Like, say
I get this question all the time.
So
what
honestly, kind? Yeah, because I want to know too.
Honestly, I don't know, like the sort of consumer grade, like one that would be the best for.
It's a Canon brand though, for sure, right?
Okay. It would be a Canon. Yeah. Definitely a Canon. Yeah.
What about I heard the Canon Rebel whatever is popular, like as an entry level camera. I forget the E5.
Yeah, the Rebel series. I think is good. Yeah.
I haven't tried it.
I don't research specs like this or anything.
Okay.
But one of my friends was asking before, and I sent her just this article of, tried, tested, and true kind of, or they gave like this camera's good for this situation kind of thing.
Right.
And then like the price ranges are there. So, but I have this one article that I have that I'm sending out to people that are asking. Yeah, because I get this question a lot.
Okay. So no recommendations.
I'll have to forward you.
Okay, you give us by the end of the episode, we'll have a list of we'll have a credit roll, all the list of recommendations. I mean, we'll have to get you back on the show in the future. Maybe we'll do like we'll We'll do a breakdown of the cameras. If anyone's listening, camera manufacturers, send us your cameras and we can review them. And we'll send them back probably. So you minimalist. You just, if you had a better the 85 millimeter lens, you said that's more your next purchase, I guess, in terms of camera equipment. Okay.
Yeah.
But everything else you have, do you use, I guess you use mostly natural lighting then, or do you also have lights and like one of those umbrellas that are...
I don't have a reflector.
No, okay, right.
I don't have a tripod.
Oh.
You'd think I would.
Huh, no tripod. Okay.
No, I'm just kind of...
Just shoot.
Just get right in there. Great. I find this really finicky.
Okay.
I mean, a monopod would work, but I really just like, getting in there, especially if I'm doing... concerts or events and marches.
Right.
Like I photographed that one for the 215 children early last month. And you can really just run around, right? If I have a tripod, it's just like, it just doesn't make sense.
So I guess when the framing comes to you, because that's the other thing, like a lot of people, they could buy the most expensive camera in the world, but if they don't know how to frame a picture properly, then it doesn't sort of matter like the quality of what it looks like. It's all about kind of like the composition, I guess, of the framing. And that's what I noticed with your work. Yeah, it's all, it's like you're a natural. Whereas I wouldn't be able to take a picture and like line it up on the mountain.
Like if I was to take a photo of you now, I would get that red in the background, slightly blur it out a bit, maybe even do a close up of you and the mic, or maybe a profile shot. Get that screen in the background. You know what I mean?
See what I mean? Like I would never have thought of those angles. I just would have thought of just something basic. But it's like you have the eye to kind of capture what's happening in real time at that particular moment. And I think that's why your photographs are so like timeless and lifelike as well.
Yeah, I really don't like posing people or really directing them, actually.
Because I do this pose pretty well. I do this.
You do. Yeah. Or what's that guy, the blue steel?
That's right.
The blue steel.
That's Zoolander. Right? That came up twice in today's show, Zoolander.
Is that Zoolander?
Yeah, that's Zoolander. Yeah, it came up twice. We'll have to watch that later now. That'll be part of our homework. So yeah, you just had kind of a sort of a natural sort of way to capture time, which is a talent, because I see a lot of pictures and I've taken pictures and my thumb's in it, or it's just not quite, it doesn't represent what I saw. Mm-hmm. And do you feel like when you look back at your photos later, it's like that's that image in time that you captured, or this is more of an artistic representation of that particular time?
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, it's just really how I see life and people. Allowing that space and giving that space to people, right? It's really one-on-one. Right. And to allow people to, share their story and just open up. Like, I think I'm really, over the years have become... people are comfortable with me, right? So,
well, I feel very comfortable right now.
So just being able to do that and just really, I don't know. That's what I meant before. Like, I really don't like posing people, because then it becomes too contrived, and it's not.
You're right. I can't pose. If you even ask Laura here, it's like I always look paranoid. Like, why are they taking my picture? Who is that? What are they going to use it for? Like,
yeah.
It's like,
yeah. So just allowing people to, just to be as they are, and it's one of the reasons why I don't really shoot in studio either.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can do it. Like, I know how to do it, but I just,
You'd prefer the natural environment, kind of like a nature photographer.
Just letting it flow as it, go as it goes.
You're capturing people in their sort of natural environment.
Yeah.
Like on planet Earth. Yeah. Except you don't have some guy narrating. Or maybe you should. Or maybe I could do the narration. And this is the...
Mark narrating.
And this is the lawyer picking up his coffee from the Starbucks. Watch as he gracefully picks up the cup and...
Like, what's that guy? David
Attenborough. That's right. There you go. Yeah, sorry, David, don't sue me.
You could do the Morgan Freeman.
I can't do his voice. I can't get it into that register. But hey, if he's available, we'll get him to narrate it. So yeah, that's great. Any final things you kind of want to end off the show with that you're promoting, or I guess we talked about a lot of things that you're doing, your show coming up, and
yeah, there's a lot actually happening. I'm on the Polaris long list jury.
Right.
Yeah.
They announced the short list is being announced today as we're taping this. That's right. So
it's
in
actually,
a half an hour from now.
So I'm really excited to see what I think there's over 200 of us long list jurors across the country.
That's right.
Yeah, so we narrowed it down to 40.
Okay.
And then we had our 5 ballots to submit for the short list. So I'm excited to see which albums, I think it's 5 albums. Yeah.
That's right. Usually that's right.
Yeah.
So by the time you watch this, the list have already been announced, but yeah, that's exciting. Mm-hmm. So you don't know who's on the list?
I don't. No.
That's anonymous or confidential.
We shall find out. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It was a lot of just me, headphones, just kind of like
Great.
For like a good 2 months.
That's got to be difficult because it's all different genres all kinds of different styles. Yeah.
Insane. Yeah, insane. And there were some Indigenous artists on there as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, exactly. It's always exciting because the winner gets some sort of cash prize as well.
Yeah, it's a cash prize. And I actually don't know too much beyond that.
Okay. I think, if you're just look it up, Polaris Prize, you can look up the
yeah, this is my first year on the jury, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So, any tips on how to shoot, a camera? Say I want to take pictures before we sign off. Anything I should know other than take off the lens cap?
I've actually done that before.
How come this isn't working?
To take off the lens cap, and everyone's looking at you. You're the pro, Nadya.
That's right.
You're supposed to have that you were. But yeah.
Well, maybe it was a lens cap endorsement. Yeah, this lens cap is custom by Canon.
Yeah. No other, unless you have anything else you want to
chat about. Yeah, no. But thank you again for being on the show, and I've been a big fan of your work, and at some point in the future, we'll have to contract your services, so we'd like to get actually the studio here shot at some point in the future. Once we have everything finished, there's still some...
Photographic, do a session with your guitar?
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
These are gorgeous. Wow.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Nice. Feel free to try one out as well. There's probably too many guitars. But anyways, that's another story. We'll save that for another show. But thanks again for being on the show. And who are you listening to now music-wise before we sign off? Who are some of your favorite artists?
Oh, man, I've been really getting into like a lot of hip-hop. And I'm definitely R&B. I love R&B. Charlotte Day Wilson has been on repeat. Really, her voice is sublime.
Right. Yeah, you had posted that recently. Yeah. I checked it out. That is great.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's been on repeat. And then there's this rapper from New Zealand. I think he's Maori.
Okay.
Yeah, his album's been on repeat too. He's got a few out that
What's
are
his
really
name?
good. Kings.
Okay,
like
Kings.
Like
Right.
Kings,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's been on repeat. Just a lot, really. I have a whole bunch of playlists that I can choose from.
Well, we've been also following your playlist that you post on Spotify. Those are great. A lot of great artists and music, discovering new things I haven't even heard of as well.
Yeah, the big epic one, the Indigenous one, that's nearing, I think, 82 hours.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and it's just a whole.
Because I'm driving up to Thunder Bay like in a couple of weeks, so that's like a 16-hour drive.
You could start it, and then it would end.
There you go.
Once you get to Thunder Bay, so there's
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you again, and I'm not sure who'll be our next guest on the next show, but it'll be somebody. And you're welcome back anytime, whenever you're in town. If you even want to just come in and play guitars,
Jam
just come anytime.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you very much. Miigwech.
Awesome.